We're talking to Joshua, who's calling in from Louisiana. Joshua, you're live on Truth Wanted.
Hey, thank you for taking my call objectively, Dan. And Frost Giant Mike. The last two callers, Ernie and Oliver, were great. I wanted to talk to you guys about really the citizens of a country, like Ukraine and Russia right now. They're both in a conflict, I was really just going to ask about should a citizen of a country understand the logic behind the country's actions? In this case, Russia's attacking Ukraine for economic reasons, Do you guys believe that it should be, the citizen should understand those actions?
Should the citizens understand those actions? Like, are you saying the citizens should be compliant? In that case, I would say no, because people are dying because of this conflict. And as a sovereign nation, I think people have a right to stand up for themselves and their own nation.
I understand that.
Are you saying that, or just the information? Because it sounds like there could be two ways to interpret that.
Well, a bit of background here. Russia found out that Ukraine had a bunch of energy resources, namely oil in Crimea, and a bunch of natural gas resources in Ukraine, and also Ukraine becoming possibly part of NATO. It's sort of encroaching on Russia's territory. So. In this case, Russia has to protect its resources in a way,
But it's not their resources, right? Like it's Ukraine's resources.
True.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
all of what you've described so far have been legal actions that the Ukraine. It's not the Ukraine. It's just Ukraine. Okay, that Ukraine has done. Applying for NATO for NATO status and natural resources. There's nothing illegal about any of that, and there's nothing inherently wrong. What that does is threaten the power and influence that countries like Russia have, specifically Russia has. And so because of that threat, we're seeing what we're seeing right now, which is a very scary situation. And I don't think the citizens of Ukraine have to say, well, he's the big bully here, and we just got to do what he says. I don't think that's right. I don't think you have to listen to bullies just because they have the power and they're being mean to you. You have a right to defend and defend yourself and do what you got to do. So it's why I have the flag in my background here, and it's why that I feel the way that I do. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the situation.
I'm very proud you're actually flying that flag too. It's great for us to support Ukraine, and it's a defense against Russia. I'm just basically trying to understand the reasons why Russia feels like it has to invade a country like Ukraine, and as a citizen, should you understand those reasons why this kind of conflict is happening. I feel like a lot of people are blind to
that part. I'm not understanding. Hold on, Josh. That part I'm not understanding. When you say should understand, because should they understand it and, like Dan said, be compliant with it, or should they be privy to the information, like the actual information? Because that's the two ways I'm interpreting that. So which one are you saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, is that they should be privy to the information about why they're being under attack right now. And I feel like a lot of the media right now is portraying this conflict as sort of just one country trying to overtake another country for almost no reason, when really there's a much deeper reason behind it. Like Russia doesn't want to see Ukraine become part of NATO because it's going to aggravate the standing.
I think people. I think I disagree with your assessment. I don't know anybody that's saying, Russia's just doing this for no reason. I think there are a lot of policy experts and people have written entire books about why Russia would do something like this and why people have anticipated Russia might even do something like this. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with with the thought that, oh, they're just saying it's for no reason. The reasons can be complicated, and there's a lot of people who are just now waking up to this stuff, even though they've been in Ukraine since like 2014. Obviously everybody has a right to be informed about why it's happening and what's happening. Definitely doesn't mean or justify any actions that have occurred so far with the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement. I just feel like the world is sort of blind to why this conflict is actually happening, and to understand it's
not going to help citizens, and it's not going to help citizens in Russia when there's legislation being passed to put people away for 15 years for certain like media, coverage and stuff. So it's So
something that people have to understand too is that at least in Russia's situation, why they have a state-owned media. And their state-owned media is telling them a completely different story of its citizens. And that's not me saying, oh, it's a conspiracy. You can find those stories. Some of them got leaked online about some of the stuff that they're posting. And you can tune in to Russian broadcasts right now and watch their live streams and see what they're saying. So they're living in a totally different information bubble. And by the way, the Ukraine people, I said the Ukraine again, people in Ukraine as well are also getting a lot of their media sources from Russia, which is why you are seeing a bit of conflict of interest with some people who are in Ukraine. They also believe in conspiracies. They're saying that Ukraine struck first. There are people in Ukraine that believe that, but that's not what the evidence shows. And we have to go through our most reliable sources, and our most reliable sources are the Western media sources, right? That are there right now. Sorry if you don't like the West, but that's they're kind of there. They're the ones kind of reporting on this.
That's exactly where my question comes from. Is should you, as a citizen, understand your moral imperative to understand why that country is trying to attack your country, and because of the media bias, you really don't. I guess as an outsider, we really don't understand why these things are happening. But when you look deeper into it, and they have a bunch of oil, or they have a bunch of natural gas resources, and the country is blatantly attacking you for these kind of things. I feel like everyone should have the opportunity to understand that.
Yeah, I agree, Joshua. If your ethics are deontological, right? If you have a duty-bound ethics, or if you have a virtue-based ethics, then I agree that it's imperative as a citizen to be informed about not only your own country's events, but world events. Some people may think you don't have to care, and that's fine. I'm personally somebody that says, yeah, I think it's good for people to care. Unfortunately, you and I can talk about the situation all night, and I can't make a single thing happen with that one. The other issues that we talk about on this show are ones that we can really meaningfully change people's lives on. And this is one where I feel completely powerless in. So I that's why I don't spend a lot of time talking about it until just now. So hopefully the people who can make that meaningful change, who are either, geographically in the right spot or do have positions of power, can. But for right now, my support again is with the Ukrainian people and their sovereignty. So that's my take.
Oh, I feel like that's where you're right too. Is that at least you're flying the Ukrainian flag and showing support for these people that are being brutally attacked for reasons way beyond their understanding. I just bring light to that kind of this issue.
It's unfortunate. I have family friends whose parents are still in Ukraine, and who love Vladimir Putin, who think he's fantastic, and who thinks that everything that's being told in the West is a lie. And you start to put the things together, and you realize, well, wait a minute, these bubbles that we always complain about here in the U.S. about certain political parties and certain people, that happens in other places too, and especially in Russia. So we all have to be cognizant of that and be wary of that, and be making sure that we are checking our sources and putting out the most accurate information that we can. Everybody has responsibility for that, I do believe. But I've been talking a lot on this. J. Mike, any thoughts?
No, it's precisely my thoughts as well. So I would just be kind of repeating. I appreciate your call though, Josh, on the topic, because it is something that we said before the show, where it's like it's really draining to hear. But it's extremely important to talk about and have these insights, and not let our own kind of emotional ties to it,
Mhm.
kind of get in the way of remembering
Yeah.
that like this is a way more real for people in Ukraine than for
Yeah.
us.
The worst is when people are like, "Oh, well, we shouldn't do this because our fuel prices will go up." Like, all right, you know what?
Oh,
Maybe
come
there's
on.
reasons
Yeah.
why we shouldn't do or do anything, but that's fucking selfish. Absolutely fucking selfish. And
Yeah.
and people with that mindset really are so privileged they don't even understand how privileged they are to come about it like that. So
It's a strange
anyway,
I'm sure that people in Ukraine are glad that your support is with them.
I hope so. I hope so. If anybody who watches this show from Ukraine, I wish you well. I wish you well. And I hope that your situation improves because nobody deserves what's happening over there right now.
sending love rings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
We
rings.
should send love rings. I don't think the crew is ready to send
Yeah,
love rings on Truth
I-
Wanted, but you know what? We'll do our own.
Yeah, I'm bringing a little bit of the talk heathen.
Thank you
here.
for
That's
taking my
right.
call.
Thank you, Joshua, for calling in. And
I
thank you
appreciate
for talking about such an important issue. Yeah, like you said, J Mike, we were talking before the show, like, you know what? We really don't want to talk about it. But if it comes up, we will because, it's important. But man, is it draining. Man, is it draining.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's draining, but it's more important than our emotional drainage, so to speak, right? Like it's that can't be a barrier to prevent the conversation because it's not like people over there. It's not like the conversation is like the worst they have to deal with or something because it's way more real than that. So
There's definitely worse things that people are having to deal with right now. So I say that with a smile, but it's only because I can only react with, really it's a grimace more than anything. So solidarity with you folks who are listening, who have family there or who are from there or are currently there. We're with you.